Hey, what is up my dudes? Machado Hell back at it for another video, and basically I've been gone for a while and I'm about to explain why, but if you really want to skip that, then skip to this timestamp so you don't have to hear me ramble on about how I wasn't able to open my video software. So long story short, I have some video edit didn't really want to open at the time, and it kind of tilted me, if you would say, because all it was trying to do is just add in a simple little leafy style intro, and it just kept on crashing. And then after that, whenever I just tried to upload it, it just kept on crashing. Whenever I opened it, it just kept on crashing. Even if I just like did a double click on the pause button, it would crash. So that, and I would say that school's getting pretty rough. Not doing so hot in my classes, so yeah, that's basically the reasons. But without further ado, let's play the video. Pa 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 pa. I stole this from Leaf.
The so-called master race of gaming really is not perfect. They claim to be the pinnacle of gaming, but really they suffer from some pretty big flaws. Today I will be exposing them, bringing them into light, and showing everyone who they truly are. This is going to be the top 10 worst things about PC gamers. And we're going to kick it off here with number 10 is they are stupid. PC gamers are just basically wasting their money. Can you imagine spending thousands of dollars on a top-of-the-line gaming PC and then finding out, guess what, next day, it's obsolete, something better came out. This is the never-ending paradox of the PC platform.
See, that's where I'm gonna stop you, because your PC does not get irrelevant just because the new 1080 came out or the new Titan came out. In my opinion, I much rather have a 1080 than a Titan, because I'm not gonna spend 2,000 bucks when I can get something that's damn near equal to it. But I just went on the PC part picker and built my very own custom PC, I could say, that's near or matches that exact thing, because I'm not going to go and search and search and search. And plus, the PCs that he showed, they're pretty much almost the same thing. And that PC right there, that's a beast of a PC. I'm talking 4K Ultra, 60 frames easy. Damn, I wonder what that shit get on CSGO. But yeah, what he just said is ignorant and basically autistic. Like, I know I have some mild autism myself.
Not only does the machine get irrelevant with each day, the value goes down. Now, if we look at some of the older consoles, the value is actually going up. You look at a Super Nintendo, brand new, you're looking at a lot of money.
What this guy fails to mention in this video is he doesn't mention that if you look at the description of the item, I'll put it up on screen for you guys, but it has a game with it. I think it's like Super Mario or something. See, the games are worth a lot of money. There's games that go $10,000. That's what he fails to mention. I just looked up a console, and I just looked up the console by itself, and that's on your screen right there. And that's only going for $172.45, which the original price was $209. Which when the NES came out, it was the price of, and back in the day, it came out for the price of $199, which in today's prices, because of inflation and all that stuff, it would be $250 if you wanted to buy a new one back then, if inflation was the same. But yeah, you're actually losing $50, and it depends all in if you have the super rare games. Yeah, it's a good investment, but no one knows what games are going to become super rare and which ones are just going to die out like.
So, when it comes down to it, PC gamers are just throwing their money away. It's going right down the drain. And when you buy a console, you're basically making an investment. Now, the next point is that they don't actually own any games. They always brag about Steam. You get these deals, 50% off, and most of the time they buy the game, play it once, never touch it again. I guess it is a fair point that you get a ton of games for a good price. Here's the flaw though. Steam is just a very popular DRM. You don't own the games you buy off their platform, it's just a license to play the game. So if Steam ever goes under, you can say goodbye to all the money you've spent because those games just disappear into nothingness.
See, people need to start doing research before they start doing their videos because Steam has an offline mode. And which that means if the games has an offline mode, like a single player or bots or something, you can just play it offline. So if Steam ever goes under, I still have all my games. Now games like CSGO, Warframe, well no, Warframe, you can still play Warframe. And everything else, yeah, those go away. Team Fortress, those go away. Wait, you can even still play CSGO, my bad. Yeah, you can play offline with the bots. So if Steam ever goes under, I could still play. I could still play San Andreas, Postal 2, GTA 5, The Witcher. Every game that has a single player and it isn't strictly on to online only, you can still play that because it has an offline mode. And yes, Steam is a DRM, but is a free DRM, I would say, because unlike corporate slaves like my man here, you don't have to pay for online, they just play games. You just play games. That's pretty much all there is. But with companies like Sony, Microsoft, you have to pay $60 a year to play games. And the thing I don't like about it is they don't even have control over the servers. Basically what you're doing, let's say you have Rockstar servers on the right and you have Sony servers. Well, if Sony wants you to make you pay for like playing for The Last of Us and Uncharted servers, that's fine. Those are their servers. But what Sony does and Microsoft does, they block that line from your console to the Rockstar servers, basically telling you that you can't get to their servers unless
Now, it is true, you can still buy games physically, but if you ever go to your traditional game store like GameStop, EB Games, whatever you use, the PC section is always small, pathetic, and usually tucked away in a secluded, dimly lit section of the store. And the console games are always at the forefront of the display because we actually buy games. But speaking of games, they all play the same games. Probably one of the most comical things is how these people spend all their money on these insanely high performance machines, but what do they end up playing? It's League of Legends, Dota 2, CSGO, the same boring shit.
And the reason why those are the most popular games is because any piece of shit PC can run them. For example, my cousin, he has a Intel Pentium clocked at 2.14 gigahertz, and he can still run that game at 30 frames per second, and he doesn't even have a graphics card. And I think he has like 4 gigs of RAM. It's not a great PC. His mom just gave it to him. Up on the screen, I will show you the requirements to play CSGO. Here's CSGO. Here's League. And here's Dota 2. See, those games don't require anything to play. Another couple games you could play without anything is Stardew Valley. That's an amazing game. I highly recommend it. It is an awesome game. Basically, if you're like into Terraria, probably pronounced that wrong because I don't play it, Minecraft and shit like that, it's kind of like a 2D scroller. Terraria, well, not a 2D scroller because Terraria is a 2D scroller. It's basically like a Pokemon version of.
And by the way, those games could be played on a toaster plugged into a potato, so why do you have a $2,000 rig to play it? Obviously not everyone fits into that category, but these games definitely have the largest player bases, and it's funny to see them brag about having all these different games, but they end up playing the same ones. So my next point is they are criminals. Piracy, it's a plague, it infests PC gaming. The truth is developers hate making games on PC because the profit margin is razor thin. Why? The game's either stolen or sold at a drastically reduced price. The biggest joke is they take this as a point of pride. They love to brag how they get their games for free, they're suckers for buying games. Meanwhile, they're killing the industry, and guess what? If everyone pirated games, nobody would make games, so you guys suck.
As you can see on screen, only 35.8% of PC gamers actually pirate games. Now, that might sound like a daunting number, But here we go. This is where real stuff starts to come in, and his point starts to get disproven. The reasons for piracy on age, anyone from 11 to 15, which is what age group I fall into, they refuse to pay is only about 20%. They can't afford it, that's about 50%, which that's reasonable because typically 15-year-olds, it's hard to get a job as a 15-year-old even though you can get a job. 35% say that they just want a demo of a game. That means they want to test the game out either because they don't trust the publisher or they just want to give it a test out before they actually define and make their purchase. And publishers, 15% say it's because of the publisher. Honestly, I will never buy a Ubisoft game because the simple fact that they don't know how to port for PC and they're lazy at it. A lot of games never ran well on PC. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why people pirate. Another one is DRM. Some people just don't like using Steam or GOG and other stuff like that. And the last and final reason is for people that live in other countries where the game is banned, they can't play those games. Like, for example, Australia, they ban so many games. Postal 2's banned there. So, yeah, so that's why some people pirate those, and I don't blame them. If I want to play Postal 2 in Australia, I should be able to play it. Same thing with, like, Manhunt. And here's another number to question. Almost 50% of the people who actually pirate games end up buying them. Some of 33% rarely. 7.5% always buy them, which that's good. And 11% say they never buy them, which depending on...
This has caused developers to take huge precautions when releasing games. They're creating increasingly complex anti-piracy measures. And if you ever call them out on how piracy is wrong, I guarantee you will hit a nerve. You will most likely be berated with endless excuses and justifications for their crime. And when it comes down to it, piracy is a crime, and if you ask me, it should be enforced with capital punishment. Number 6 is a good one. They are perverts. One thing pretty much all PC gamers share is they love to jack off.
Ooh, this is my favorite topic, pervert. Well, jacking off feels amazing. Not to mention that it's also good for your health, cleans out your prostate so you get reduced that risk of that prostate cancer. And honestly, who in the actual fuck actually gets up when they're almost done and jizzes on their keyboard intentionally? I hadn't jizzed on it yet, and I'm pretty proud of that because I don't want them sticky keys, if you know what I mean. And as a person who beats their meat 20 times a day, I can speak on this. Don't test me. I'm an expert on jacking my meat and yanking.
If you took a blacklight to their keyboard, it would shine brighter than the sun. You would be blinded by the glare of years of semen sprayed on their keyboard, monitor, chair, and most of their room. Just look at some of the filthy games available for purchase. Dating sims and games that exploit women are readily available in Steam. So these games are insanely popular, and with increasing technology with things like flashlights that connect to the games, soon PC gamers will not only find consoles obsolete, but real women as well. Now this next one is a big one. They always complain. These guys are never satisfied. Like a fat guy at an all-you-can-eat buffet, they always want more. If the game comes out, but it's not released on PC, oh god, you can bet it will start an uproar. They will demand the game is released on their platform, create petitions which thousands will sign, and do anything possible to get the game. And what happens when the game is released? Always a problem. Even when the games come out originally on PC, they always find something to complain about.
This is where I'm gonna stop you, Miss Autismo. Here's an article where Fallout 4 modders are tired of console peasants begging them for their mods, even though your corporate gods did not want to give you mods with scripts because they were afraid of what it could do. And that is one of the main reasons why those mods don't get ported over. Everyone wants something. And I hate to say it, yes, there are PC gamers that beg and beg for PC ports. But the sad thing about it, exclusives are going away. Microsoft are porting most of their exclusives, Xbox exclusives, to PC, and then with PlayStation Now coming to PC in the short future, basically PC, the only thing that's going to have an exclusive is PC, like Arma, League, Dota, CSGO, all that stuff. They're going to have exclusives. RuneScape, damn, the list can go on and on. A lot of small games that are PC exclusives that consoles can't have because they're way too complicated. For example, there's a game that I saw a YouTuber talking about. You gotta use like the whole left side of your keyboard, like one button takes out the clip, one button pulls it back in, then you gotta cock the gun and everything, and it's a very complicated game, and with a console only having a few buttons, you can't really play that. It's gonna have to be dumbed down to the point where it's kind of like Battlefield or Call of Duty. You hit R to reload and it, or square, or...
Now, I'm not against criticism of games, but it's always some petty bullshit like frame rate or resolution or optimization. Rarely is it actually about the game. Now let's have a look at some of these games, and this is my next point, is they have the worst exclusives. Now, Steam can be a good thing in some ways. It's popular, good deals, a wide selection of games. Here's the problem though, there's no filter. Some of the games available are so garbage that it's a joke to think people would waste money on them. And if they are actually somewhat decent, they just end up coming to consoles anyways. Steam might boast a huge library of games, but when most of them have the quality of yesterday's turd, it's like bragging about having the world's largest collection of shit, but with a few gold nuggets buried in it. It's barely worth the time to look through.
And that is one of the risky points of having an open DRM, because when you have an open DRM, anyone can upload a game at any price, at anything they want to, and as long as it's not too harsh like ethnic cleansing where you kill all the blacks and the Jews. Decent game. I'm racist. I'm just playing. Just a joke. Put your keyboard down, keyboard warriors. And so when you have that open DRM, you're going to have a lot of people who develop half-ass games, and then you're going to have people that develop amazing indie games. And
now, number 3 is sad but true. They have no friends. What's more fun than getting a few pals together, crack open a couple beers, and play some games with your buds? This is a joy that is lost on PC gamers. They may claim to have 100 friends on Steam, but when it comes down to it, they would just rather play alone in a dank basement with only their anime waifu pillow to keep them company. They are a sad, lonely breed that really deserves our pity more than anything else. If you have a PC gamer friend, the best thing you can do is drag them out into daylight and show them the big world that they can be a part of. Now
I have friends! But, on serious fact, I have a close group of friends. I'm not really one of those guys who has 100 friends, because I know a lot of people are fake these days, especially when you're in that high school phase. A lot of people are faking shit like that. But there are devices you can buy that, and just get a PS2 emulator, a PS3 emulator, and just play Black Ops or something. You buy Black Ops, hook up a couple controllers, have that split screen going on, and you can have yourself a good time. It doesn't necessarily have to be a console, because you can use any controller with a PC. This Xbox is one of the most used ones because it's not very hard to set up. Neither is PS4, but you gotta download some applications and stuff like that. And I'm in the Discord with a couple of my friends, and at the most we can have 7 to 8 people in one of the talks. And that's more than I ever had on a console, to be honest. And another reason why I don't really have friends on consoles, but I really like the PC Master Race players, PC players and everything like that, PC gamers, is because they're more mature. Don't you dare fucking open up your mic in a Call of Duty chat. I fucked your mom! I fucked your mom! Yeah, that's all you hear for 10 fucking minutes. It's like fucking Mickey Mouse inhaled an ass ton of helium and then fucked your mom. And I gotta ask you, for the guys who said you fucked your mom, did you really, really?
Next point is more of a minor thing, but I still think it's valid. Ever heard of a console getting a virus? Nope, doesn't happen. Enjoy your malware and your spyware and your other malicious things that cripple PCs.
And as for the virus thing for consoles go, it's possible for them to get a virus, especially on last gens like PS3 and Xbox 360. It's very slim, but anything is possible. The only reason why there's more viruses on PC because they're more open and it's pretty easy to code a virus for Windows, very hard for Mac, and I'm guessing extremely hard for consoles like the PS3 and PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360, all of those good things. But it isn't unheard of for a console to get a virus. But although this is the only valid point that he has in this video.
Which might not just impact your video game collection, but could potentially ruin your life. Now, no need to deal with that. If you have a console, you can rest easy. No viruses there. You could also get a Mac, because we all know they're virus-proof. So my last point is we have a group of people that spend tons of money on irrelevant machines, complain to companies to release their games on PC, and just end up pirating them anyways, and claim to be the master race when they act more like babies. The biggest problem with PC gamers is they are hypocrites. And you know what? The funny thing is, I could ignore everything on the list, if they weren't just so stuck up about it. So do yourself a favor, sell the PC, get a nice console. Statistically, you will be a better person for it.
But yeah, that's where I'm going to end today's video, and I am sorry for the shitty CSGO gameplay. I'm still getting used to PC, and yeah, I wish I could carry this out longer, and really wish I could, but he ended his video. And as for the last point goes, he didn't really mention it very well. He didn't really explain his point that PC gamers are hypocrites, but honestly, why would you sell your PC when you get better graphics? It's basically, if you spend about equal to a console on a PC, then your PC's pretty much gonna curb stomp. It's gonna curve stomp. It's gonna LA Riot curve stomp the consoles. So yeah, peace out, my dudes. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if you hit that